Hey logo designers, this is Michael from Logo Package, and I have another devlog for you for our new Adobe Illustrator extension called Logo Package Forge. Logo Package Forge allows you to organize your fonts inside of Adobe Illustrator and then generate logo concepts from those fonts. So far in these devlogs, we've been focused primarily on logo type settings, being able to type in some text and have it generated in the font sets that we have created. These font sets are how we organize fonts in Logo Package Forge. So any fonts that we take from our all fonts list here, which is going to display all the fonts on your system, we can organize into sets. So I have this new school set, which is mostly sans serif fonts. I have an old school set, which is mostly serif fonts, and then handwritten has script fonts inside of it. So we've been looking at how you can generate logo types using these different fonts. But today I want to show you our first implementation of logo mark settings so that we can start to add some logo marks to these logo concepts as well. Now I'm pretty excited about this feature, so I wanted to make a devlog even though this is a very rough implementation and we still have a long way to go. But let's check out the logo mark tab. So we'll come to the Forge extension and choose logo mark. And you'll see that we have this set mark area, and then we have this anchor point or reference point graphic, and then we have some spacing and scale settings. The UI here is not fully implemented, but these will be settings that will be available, and I will show them off in a future devlog. For now, I'm just going to show you the set logo mark and what generating logos with logo marks looks like. So I'll grab this first mark here and I will just click set mark. And what happens is we get a preview in this window now. And in our grid document, we now have a master artboard where our logo mark is kept. And now we can go into our logo type settings, and this is for a brand called Oliver Chang. So I'm just going to type in Oliver Chang. And I'm going to choose the new school set and make logos. Now we have the words Oliver Chang in all of the fonts that were inside of the new school set. And we have the logo mark paired with those logo types. Now, because this is the first implementation of the logo mark setting, some of the things that we will be able to do in the future are not yet available to us. So I'll take you through what some of these settings would do. But first, what we're looking at with these generations is a logo mark that is exactly as wide as the logo type and which is set above the logo type. When we have a vertical alignment from this top drop down in the logo mark settings, that is going to stack the logo type and logo mark vertically. But we can choose these different points on this reference point graphic. And these would set the mark to the right side of the type, the left side of the type, above and below. And if we change to a horizontal, then we can do the same thing, where we can have the mark on the left or the right side of the type and aligned to the top or bottom of the type. And then we can use the spacing and scale settings to move that logo mark farther away from the type or closer to the type, and also make it bigger and smaller, with the largest size being the full width of the logo type. But there are still some pretty cool things to show you even with our early implementation here. So we don't have any horizontal settings completed yet, but we can move to the bottom of the type. So if I choose the bottom, and I make logos again, we're going to see the logo mark beneath the type. So here is the logo mark beneath the type. And another thing that we can do is obviously we can choose a different set. So I think I like the way that the logo mark looked above the type more than below the type. And I now want to see what it might look like with these serif fonts. So I'm going to choose the old school set and I'm going to make logos. Okay, so I'm really liking how this is looking with the mark above the type. And I think now I'd like to introduce some color. So what's cool is that whatever is on this master artboard is what's going to get applied to the new logos that we generate. So in this case, I think I'd like to see what this mark will look like in red. So I'm just going to make a selection of this and I'm going to give it a nice red color. And now I will make these logos again because I like the old school fonts and I'm ready to go. All right, so now we have the logos with a red logo mark. And I can really do anything I want in here. Even though this doesn't really make sense for the company, I'm going to rotate this up and maybe see what this looks like. So I'll make logos again. And now you can see that we have the logo mark rotated. Now this is interesting because obviously this is not centered the way that we want it to be. And of course, this is just something that happens as you are in development. But you can still see how quickly we can make changes here and rapidly iterate and see how those changes might look as we continue to refine our concepts. Of course, we can add completely different marks as well. So if we go back to our original document, you see we have a few more marks to take a look at. So I'm just going to set these up really quickly. I can remove the mark that I have set in the extension by pressing the X button on the logo mark thumbnail. And that will remove the mark, and then I'm free to make a selection of more artwork and set it to begin working with it. So now let's see if these will generate with the logo mark above the type. I still want to use this old school set, so here we go. Okay, everything worked out. This is looking pretty nice. And for our final comparison, I just want to see what it looks like with that third logo mark. So I'm going to remove the logo mark I have set, and I'm going to make a selection of the final logo mark and click Set Mark. Okay, the new mark is set. Let's see what it looks like with the logo types. All right, so now we have a grid of logo concepts that we made very rapidly that are using different logo marks, different placements of those logo marks in relationship to the logo types. We have different font combinations with the logo marks, and we were even able to modify the logo marks on the fly and make generations from changes that we made right within this grid document. So these are just the beginning features for the logo mark settings in Logo Package Forge, and in the coming weeks we will build out these spacing and scale features and also the vertical and horizontal alignments to give you as much control as possible over these generations and quickly see many different logo variations that would take you a very long time to create manually. So I hope you're excited for that, and I will catch you in the next devlog. Thanks for watching.